Thank you for joining us on this webinar. This week's topic is all about connecting to people, particularly event organizers and sales departments, and using a facility like LinkedIn. And so what I'll do is I'll actually show you LinkedIn in a moment as well, so you can see this. See if I can connect you. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was negotiating with the hotels and getting the hotels to invest in what you're doing, which I think is a really important part as well. So before we go on, let's talk a little bit about that. Some of these questions come up through the course of training and conversations with our agents. Is basically when they negotiate a rate with a hotel, as I've often said in my videos, this can take 2 or 3 conversations so that the hotel really starts to understand what you want. And initially it's quite often that they're going to treat you just like everyone else and basically, you know, try and give you a best available rate or just a corporate rate or something that they've already got written down. They've put no work into it other than what's actually written on the sheet, and they're just going to repeat that and give that to you. Now, as you know, with our events, that's not really what we want, and it's not particularly suitable. So what we want to do is we want the hotels to really negotiate a rate with us that is great, that really tempts our audience to come and book with us, because we've led them all the way through from the event website into our PBA. And we want to convert them into a booking. So one of the main ways of doing that is being able to show them what great value they're getting. So it's not necessarily the lowest price, but the best value by being part of this event. And a lot of that's to do with how we negotiate with the hotels. And the hotels come back first and they go, okay, here's your rate. And then we've got to go back and tell them again. So how do you know if you're getting a good rate? Well, you compare to other rates that are out there on booking.com, but also on the hotel's own website is a really good way to do that. So you can actually see whether your rate is close or under or near or miles away. And what that rate is going to then show you, okay, and remember the initial negotiation hopefully will look completely different after the next couple of conversations that you have with the hotel. So just because they give you a rate and you've compared it and it doesn't look very good, doesn't mean that's what you're going to end up with, but it will be unless you go back to them. So you need to go back to them and explain what we're doing and why we're doing it. As I've repeated before, how the partnership is, the value, the new audience that you're actually giving them exposure to, all this sort of stuff that we've covered in previous videos. But how do you measure it? Well, you measure it against other websites, and what it should tell you instantly is how invested they are into your concept or what you're doing. And what I mean by how invested, if they give you a rate that's above booking.com, so more expensive or more expensive than their own website, what if they invested in you? Exactly. Getting 10%, other agents are getting 10 or 15%. So what are they investing with you to be part of this event? Nothing. So why should you allow them in? Is it just because you're desperate to get a hotel? I don't think so. There's lots of other hotels that would benefit from having access to this sort of audience, 2,000-3,000 people turning up for a trade show. If you take I draw a line at the booking.com rate. Anything that's on that line or above, so anything that's the same price or higher that they give me for an event, they have not invested anything in this event. So I know I'm getting 10%, maybe an occasion 12 or 15%, but I know booking.com at the same rate is getting 15%, possibly 20, 25, depending on the promotion. So what it shows you is that the hotel is investing nothing in your concept. They're giving you equal to whatever rate they've got. But if they give you 10% lower or 20% lower than the lowest available rate, that is a sign that the hotel is interested to invest in your event. And that's where you need to take your negotiations to. You need to take them to a point where you are comfortable that they're actually investing in your event. So in other words, you go to them and you've got an audience of 2,000 people attending an event. Let's say they've got 20,000 people on their Facebook page. They've got 10,000 people on Twitter, Instagram. That's a really unique audience that you've got. And they want access to that because they're not just going to be promoted to the people that are attending, but to the whole audience. And this is what you really have to get and explain to them, that you are the exclusive agent. They have to come through you to get access to this. So normally, to put it another way, what would a hotel have to pay in advertising to show their hotel to 20,000 suitable people? Not just for this particular promotion, because obviously all those 20,000 aren't going to turn up, but they may come to the city another time and now they're more aware of that hotel. So what would a hotel have to invest? Hotel would spend advertising money, wouldn't they? They'd spend 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 20,000 or whatever it is in order to access that marketing or access that market. So what are they actually investing in you? If they give you a rate below, you're not charging them anything to come onto this. So what you need to do is sell the value of the audience and let them know that you consider that their investment is every dollar below the lowest available rate that they invest in your event to access this market and get bookings, of course. It's a two-way thing. We're not going to work with them or get this same deal again if we don't produce bookings for them. But that's what you want. And that's the type of relationship you want with these people, to be able to have the hotels actually invest. Okay. I'm going to take some questions in a moment based on that. But now what I'm going to do is also show you how to connect with some of the sales departments of these hotels and how to find these people, possibly even event organizers that you work with. And one of the tools, or the particular tool I'm going to use today, is LinkedIn. Now, hopefully all of you by now have a LinkedIn profile. If you do, you should be linking it to my profile, as I have got thousands of hotel sales departments and all sorts around the world linked into mine. And when you go to access them, they will see that you're only one or two connections, because that's the way LinkedIn works, one or two connections away from them in contacts. And the closer you are, you might have seen a number on there. So the closer you are, if you're second or third, the more interested the sales department's going to be, or the event organizer is going to be, because they see that you're relevant to them. They see that you're actually in their circle. You might not be a first contact, but you could be a second or third contact. Anything beyond that, it's too many layers deep. So you want to get to that stage. And by connecting to me, I'm first with a lot of these people. So you can be second and then you become first. or you might be third and then become first. But look into the way LinkedIn's done. It's very, very clever. It's the number one business social network, but all your event organizers generally will be there, and all of the sales departments and the people that you want at the hotels will all be there. So let's go on and have a look. So just bear with me 2 seconds while I set this up. Okay. Sorry if the screen is freezing. See your message, Hamza. Unfortunately, I hope it's one of these things when it's live, it's very difficult to control that. So I'm hoping that it's working all right. Bear with me, please. Okay. Okay, what I want to do is take you on to LinkedIn. Okay. So hopefully you can see LinkedIn now. Okay. So LinkedIn is a professional social network. And you set up your profile there. So if you've all been on and seen mine, that's it. You can post these sorts of posts and put news stories. And if you can post something about the hotel industry or something about events you're working with, then that's great. I'll show you my particular profile here. So it shows people. You can edit all this as well, obviously. I can edit it because I'm coming. It's a bit like Facebook. So I'm here, that's me, picture, put a bit of a background there. You can get messages and access your network. We'll look at that in a minute. I've put videos up about hotels we've done. I've posted stories. This is some of my activities, some of the writing that I've done in there. I repost things and share things. So it's very, very good. It's got a little bit of my history here. It's got skills and endorsement. So these are professionals within the hotel industry that have endorsed what I do and what we do, recommendations and things that we're following. Okay. So you have a network up the top, and what happens? Okay, and someone wants to connect to me now. So someone's seen my profile. They're front office manager at Mercure Hotels, and they've sent this request. Ignore and accept. And they are, if you see, they are connected to Bespoke Hotels. So that's where they've come and found out about me. So that's great. I'm very interested in that. Also, you have suggestions about who you could connect to, like group operations at GLH Hotels. Great. I like the sound of that. So that's automatically sent off a request to connect. Hard Rock, London's manager. Okay. Connect to them. General manager at Guardsman Hotel. Great. I'll connect to Eva if I can. It lets me. Meetings and events at the Sunborn Yacht. Okay, so I'll do that. Connect to that. For some reason it won't let me do that. But it shows you how many mutual contacts you've got in my network. So you see this, 31 mutual connections. So when Eva looks at my profile coming in, so these go as a request, where this one has come in as a request for me. It's an invitation for me. But I'm sending the same invitation out to these people, and LinkedIn basically offers these people up because it's looked at my profile and it can see that these people are in the space of what I'm looking for, the same as my connections already. I've got 1,824 connections that we've connected to each other, and they can see by profiling that a lot of those people are in the hotel industry. All that creates your profile. And see, mine's heavily weighted around travel and business. Okay, so Eva can't connect for some reason. That one can't connect. There we go, pending. Don't know why that's not connecting. Anyway, so let's accept that one. All right, she's now connection. Let's go into our connections. So there's Stephanie that just joined. There's Martin, who's the new Hotels TV agent in the US, in Utah. Okay, Vice President of Sales, UK and Ireland Cosmetics Company, Quintessential Members Club, a videographer of gone. Okay, here's the Executive Sous Chef of the Connaught Hotel in London. Let's look down a bit. Sales and Marketing Manager at Hotel Xenia Autograph Collection. Hotel Manager at the Wellesley Knightsbridge, a luxury collection hotel. General Manager at the London Hilton on Park Lane. CEO at lastminute.com. There. Mercure Hotels, Citizen M Hotels. So you can see not only in my building contacts that are vital for me to connect to, such as if I need a hotel in London or I want to negotiate a rate at one of these hotels, Vice President of Virgin Hotels globally, all sorts, also Kimpton Hotels, Director of Sales at Kimpton Hotels, which I actually need for Martin in the US coming up. So all these connections are ones like Martin can connect to my connection, and they're going to look at this profile and they're going to go, that's really relevant. Yes, I'll connect to you. And once you connect to these people, you're able to send a message. Okay, a little pop-up comes down here and you can say, hey, I just wanted to connect to you. How you going? We're looking for rates. We have a group or we have an event. Can we connect by email? Send me your email address and I'll send you the details. Boom, done. You have now connected to this particular person. And you haven't had to pick the phone up yet or do anything. So it really warms the connection. Look, Chief Executive Officer at EasyJet Holidays in the UK. All this adds to your profile. So in other words, what it does, it makes you look good in front of these people like you're part of the industry. So if people come onto my profile and I've requested to connect to them and they can see that I've got CEO of booking.com or I've got, owners of hotels and director of sales and marketing at Silkery Hotels and all these hotels around the world, they're going to be very open to talk to me and have a conversation with me because they know that I am involved with the industry and I have some credibility. That's the word I was looking for, credibility. So this is what you should be building for yourself as an agent of Hotels TV on LinkedIn, and you can then link to lots of different groups as well while you're in there. So, if you connect with all different groups. So if you looked at my profile, these not it. They come up with suggestions all the time about things that you might want. View profile. Some of the interests I've put down here: Dubai Business Brokers, Accor, Discovery, Jacinda Ardern, I should say, Intercontinental Hotels, investors, all these different people. Whoop, Sorry, I've gone off that. But there's groups that you can become part of as well. Development strategies for hotels in Malaysia, the Hotel Group, Dubai Business Brand, Angel Investors, Hotels TV, Sales Team, Hotels TV Vancouver, Online Travel Technology. All these different groups that you can become part of that are part of your industry. Hotel blogs, travel and tourism, hotel wellness, luxury wellness, and other niche travel trends. That has 121,000 members. So what about, let's look for groups. Let's look for event organizers. There's Event Organizers Network, Association of Event Organizers, Event Organizers Network, formerly Event Management. So what you do is you go into these, let's say the Association of Event Organizers. Okay, this has 1,297 followers. Okay, and I want to follow it now because it tells me what is going on. You can visit the website. Now let's go back a step. Hotel industry professionals worldwide. So here's a group. Start a conversation with the group or join the group. Okay, I've already joined this one. So I joined March 2009. Okay, so I could start a comment. But I'm also networking with other people in the industry. Okay, what about other groups? Let's have a look. PCO. That actually stands for Professional Conference Organizers. But what about MICE? Let's see what's in the MICE industry. MICE International, Event Services, Information Technology. So Event Services. Okay, so I might follow them because that will lead me to where events may be taking place. Okay, other groups. What other groups can I join? So all people, jobs, content, schools, companies, content. So groups. So I want, again, event organizers. This event organizers network has 17,000 members, 19,000 members. Okay, so let's say I want to join this group. Okay, you go onto this page and you request to join. Okay, the request is gone. That will be checked by whoever was the person who created this group, and they will choose to let me in or not. Now, in order to get into these things, what you probably have to do, okay, because the first thing they're going to look at is your profile. So my profile says hotels.tv, and then they may read a little bit more about it and they'll find out. So what you have to do is kind of gear your profile up to be attractive to the groups that you're really keen to connect with. So in other words, fill your content in your page full of the fact that, your aim is to help events succeed, and things like that. So that when they come to check you out to let you into their group so you can access their market, they realize that you have an honest approach to the events. You're not just trying to come in and, I do hotel bookings, that's it. So it's kind of how you word things to make yourself more attractive and more inviting to the groups to connect with you because they feel that you have something positive to be able to contribute. So that's how we do organizers. Now, let's say you've got an event in South Africa, for example, and I'll use DMG events as an example. I know the events in South Africa from DMG events, and I'm trying to get to the event organizer. So I found the event on Google, and I go to the event organizer and to LinkedIn, and I'm going to go, okay, DMG events manager Johannesburg, and I'm going to see what comes up here. Okay, so straight away I can see that Lynn Charmer is the event director at DMG. Okay, so I can go and have a look at the marketing manager, all the people that I want at that event, I can access right here, because every business person worth their clout has a LinkedIn profile. That's the whole idea. These people want to be found because they want events to come to them to have them host and manage their events. So these people don't make themselves a secret or hide away. They want to be contacted. That's why they're on here. They need to be. This is the same as sales managers of hotels. So let's say Lynn, I know, is the event organizer. I'm going through a different contact with her, but she's liaising with Lynn. Now that's great. So this is a bit of a warm introduction. It tells me all about her. If I go to more, it says follow, connect, report. So I go to connect. Now I can either choose to add a note, or I can choose just to send an invitation like I received before. Now maybe I want to make it a little bit more warmer and friendly. And so what I'll do is say, hi, Lynn. It's Harrison from hotels.tv. I just wanted us to connect here. I understand you will be discussing things with Julie shortly. Please let me know how I can help. Okay, nice friendly note. And then I send the invitation. And that's it. It's gone. So hopefully she comes back, and then you get messages down the bottom here which pop up, and so that you'll see and get a notification when someone messages you. And that's the same with hotels. So let's say I want to find out a hotel in Johannesburg as well for the event. So I'd like to know who the sales director of the Hilton Sandford. Well, my spelling was not great. Hilton. Okay. And straight away, we've got Tamara, who's one of my second contacts, who is actually the person I need to speak to. Well, I've already connected with her, but I haven't connected with her on LinkedIn, but I could have. So I'm just going to connect and send that now. That connection's gone. So this all adds into my network. I can look at my connections here, and I can see who I've sent to, who I'm waiting on, and all these people who are connected within my network. So it is an amazing way to find people, send them messages without having to go through Google, having to search. Look, what I'd have to do otherwise, I'd have to go through Google, and I would have to go Hilton, Sandford, Johannesburg. Oh, and I'd get it wrong, no doubt. And then I would drill down through Google, and then I'd look for the phone number. And of course, no one likes to put phone numbers on their websites. Ah, here we go. Hilton Sandford, or Santon, sorry, not Sandford. Santon. I'd then call the hotel. And then I'd call the hotel, and then I'd have to go through the process of saying, hey, who's the sales manager? Because I've got no idea. And I'd, have several conversations. They'd take a message. I'd wait for them to come back, and the whole process goes on. Whereas, and this is why I get you to do this research with events as well before you contact the event organizers, is that very simply, I can sum up and find out who all the right people are to talk to before I even get to that point, and I can have messaged them already. So by the time I call the hotel, they've received a message. They're more likely to pick up the phone because I'm now more familiar. They've received a message from me, whether they've answered or not, doesn't matter, but they know who I am. So that's it. So that's what I recommend you do. It's very effective. Whether you're looking for event organizers, targeting those people, or you're looking for the hotel sales departments, either way, it is an incredibly effective tool to use. Okay, so I will come back to you now. All right, so that's pretty much the end of today's webinar. To come back to you briefly. So just as a recap for you, and let me end the sharing, just as a bit of a recap for you. So what we did was we talked about really connecting with event organizers and sales departments of hotels using tools. And LinkedIn is an amazing tool to do that with. And that's exactly what it's there for. So you should use that. And the other thing earlier that we chatted about was negotiating rates with hotels and really making sure that these hotels value what you're bringing to them, understand and value what you're bringing to them. And remember to measure that, because every dollar that is below what the market rate is online is their investment into working with you. If they're not prepared, provided you have hotel choices otherwise, but if they're not prepared to invest in you, then consider using other hotels that are prepared to invest in you, because that's the way that you'll get your clients the best rate. So you need to talk to the hotels, you need to explain it. Quite often you need to explain it again and again after they've sent you the first lot of rates. But after they've sent you those first lot of rates, you don't have to accept them. You go back and say, no, you need to understand the market you're dealing with. I've gone and compared your rates online and they're rubbish. Okay. I consider your investment. I'm promoting you as one of 4 hotels to an audience of 20,000. The only way I'm going to do that is if you show me some investment. I'm not asking for money up front. I'm asking for an investment in rate, so we can get these people staying at your hotel and they can start spending money in your hotel. That's the way I handle it. I hope that's given you a few ideas just to top up your existing training. And that's it. So thank you for joining us again this week. This video will be available in the YouTube training area. You should be subscribed to that, because you will automatically receive a notification that the video's online. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Remember, every Monday, Q&A session and a few training tips and lots of bits and pieces about what we've picked up through the week by working with some of the agents and handling their inquiries. We'll try and share that with you. All right. Bye for now.